Ooh, my little toe. I hit my little toe. That just hurt so bad. Good morning, good morning. We are reading The Myth of Normal again today. But today we are going to read slower and very meticulously. Okay. 154 to 164. The triumphs don't look the same, nor should they. I know from my medical experience that you don't want to hold too fast to anything, said Danielle, a resident in anesthesiology. Still, I had beliefs and ideas about how I saw things going. I intended originally to have a home birth and water at a cottage here that we had rented in the forest. It didn't turn out that way. After prolonged labor with little progress at home, the midwife recommended hospitalization and an epidural to allow Danielle some relaxation. The home birth oxytocin was given to promote progress, to no avail. After 36 hours of intense labor, Danielle accepted the necessity of surgical delivery. To this day, she is elated about her experience. Although Danielle's process took a different form than Sherry's, the two births resemble each other in one core aspect. The mother felt herself to be in charge. I was listened to. Everyone made time to hear what I was concerned about. Even the assistant to the surgeon came in to see me, a woman in family practice here. She met me and she looked in my eyes and she was fully present. I just felt safe with everyone in there. In those words, we hear the second factor determining the quality of women's experience: safety and support. A healthcare system that honors women's strengths and their vulnerabilities gives them the best chance at a childbirth experience they can cherish. This view runs through a little gem of a pregnancy primer. A is for advice, the reassuring kind, by the Brooklyn-born BC-based midwife Lana Stranger Ross. The women who report the most positive birth experiences, she observes, are those who feel they understood all the decisions made and had a say in the decision-making process. That holds even for complicated births among women who had been hoping for natural deliveries. Births that require multiple interventions, births that end in surgery. To learn about the sociology of childbearing is to marvel at the innate wisdom of nature and its highest evolutionary achievement, the human body. The biological bottom line is this: mammalian labor is more than a process of expelling an infant from a womb. It is preparation for life. Labor, as nature designed it, promotes the release of hormones such as estrogen, oxytocin, and prolactin that activate a host of neural systems governing the emotions and behaviors, ensuring the baby's well-being in the short and long term. Warmth, nurturing, bonding, protection, and so on. In other words, birth prepares the template for the mother-infant relationship, which itself is the central locus of the child's early development. Having been out of the baby catching game for some decades, I was caught off guard by a phrase Stranger Ross used when we spoke: obstetrical trauma. Good morning, good morning. That has become a term, she said. Unfortunately, a lot of women feel that their birthing experience was one of trauma, which of course is going to have impacts on the parent-child relationship. If the birth was traumatizing, then how does that translate when Now you have a newborn in your arms. Right on cue, I was given a textbook illustration of this alarming trend via a conversation I had the day I finished this chapter. I was being interviewed over video conference by a New York journalist reporting on the COVID 19 pandemic, which at that time was engulfing her city. At one point, Courtney, as I'll call her, proudly showed off her 3-month old shrub. When she learned what I was working on, she poured out an awful story of her experience at Mount Sinai Hospital at the hands of one of New York's most prominent and well regarded obstetricians. It is a clear tale of normalized obstetrical trauma as can be imagined. 37 years old and healthy, Courtney was expecting an uneventful delivery. At 30 weeks, the physician phoned her to announce, as if by decree, that given her age, labor would be induced at 39 weeks. This, the doctor said, was the good morning, good morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. God has already abundantly blessed us. We have to just focus our eyes, heart, and ears towards the blessings. Orient ourselves towards the Lord, which I trust you already did. This, the doctor said, was the office protocol here for anyone older than 35. She had known my age from the beginning. Since I walked into her office last May, Courtney said, I was so shocked that I hung up the phone. I barely said a word. I had to have half a glass of wine. Ooh. I was so upset I didn't sleep at all that night. It went downhill from there. Courtney recalled with pain the sudden disappearance of flexibility and the imposition of a tyrannical dictate. It was not the kind of care I expected. I'm not used to being bullied by doctors or talked down to. The tone became so toxic, and then she also kept saying, the baby is huge. He's going to be huge. I said to her, wait, I heard that growth scans are notoriously bad at predicting weight, she reported. Not at Sinai. He's going to be 9 pounds at least. The baby's actual birth weight was less than 8 pounds. Courtney considered looking for a new physician, but this was late in the pregnancy, and still in awe of the specialist's credentials, she stayed put. By week 38, she was saying every week, this is really not looking good for vaginal. It's really not. I don't know what to tell you. I just kept saying, I don't want a C-section. And this was our dynamic week after week. I was in a terrible state of mind for the last 3 or 4 weeks of pregnancy, sobbing, nervous breakdown. At the appointed time, we show up at Mount Sinai, and it's a horrible scene. They tried to push me around in my pregnancy through COVID, and they were so rude and mean to me. So this chapter is actually really, really hard to read, but I didn't back down in anything, and I definitely stood my ground with those nurses. And although I may struggle with boundaries and standing up for myself, I am really proud that in those moments I did not. But this is a hard chapter. We're in this waiting room for 3 hours, a million different things going on, and I kept saying to my partner, why the F am I here? We are totally within our rights to go back to Brooklyn and go into labor naturally. Feeling disempowered, having her intuition invalidated at this most vulnerable time of her life, being intimidated by a highly extolled medical specialist, and having been raised in a culture where expert authority triumphs one's own, Courtney lacked the wherewithal to assert herself. Assertion. That's not something I lack. Good morning. Good morning. I was told by one of my counselors at a rehab that normal is a setting on your washer. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. My third baby was right about coming out of COVID time. So when I refused to take their little swab thing that they wanted, they came in, they made me wait for my epidural, and they came in with hazmat suits. And then the nurses came in, they begged me behind closed doors. They said, please, it's silly. We understand. Look, we don't even have to, we'll just touch your nose. We don't even have to really actually do it. It's just a procedure. I said, if it's a procedure and you're not even concerned about the procedure that you're giving and doing, why are you even doing this? Why are you even in here talking to me? And then afterwards, after I delivered my baby and I was walking around, like very quickly, they came in and they told me that I did the right thing and they wished it wasn't the way it was. And that sucks. I know that those nurses were traumatized themselves in that wing. But how many people did they aid in also being traumatized? It was crazy. It's crazy. She finally acceded to the induction, and after 15 hours of fruitless labor, the inevitable surgery. I was so weak. I'd been throwing up. Everything about this was like the biggest nightmare. I said, F it. Let's just do the C section. Like, what choice do I have at this point? So we roll into the OR, and I'm throwing up on the table, and I'm a basket case, sobbing, scared of my mind, shaking. They start the surgery. It takes forever. She then says to me, oh, I didn't realize your abdominal muscles were this strong. They were because I've done Pilates for 20 years, I'm thinking. Why didn't you realize it? You've been examining me regularly for 9 months and anticipating this surgery for weeks. And the following morning, she said to me, can you even make this up? I'm going to call the Mount Sinai scanning department and complain about how inaccurate your growth scans were. All that week in the hospital, I would just lie awake at night, sobbing at how violated I was. I asked Courtney whether she had thought of working with a midwife. I'm not that left wing, she said. I'm not that far out. I completely bought into the system. Now, considering that's crazy. Um, Now, considering that this galling story took place in a privileged white middle class context, for poor women, especially women of color, treatment of mothers in labor can be considerably more brutal, with consequences that range all the way to fatal. According to a 2019 World Health Organization report, 42% of the women in a global survey said they experienced physical or verbal abuse or discrimination during childbirth in health centers, with some of the women being punched, slapped, shouted at, mocked, or forcibly held down. Nor is this limited to so called third world. In my own country, a cell phone video emerged recently of hospital staff in Quebec facility taunting and verbally abusing an indigenous woman in labor. Nurses are heard calling her stupid and saying she's only good for sex and would be better off dead. Minutes later, she was. For me, the ideal birth situation is a woman alone in a silent room, lights dimmed, with a midwife calmly sitting with her and knitting. Michelle Odent told me. A wry but astute comment on the harmful effects of bright lights, noisy machines, and bustling, hectoring medical personnel on the labor process. This brings us back to the discussion of inherent expectation in our chapter on human nature. We, like all organisms, arrive on the scene with the anticipation that life will unfold within certain parameters. Being the adaptable creatures we are, we can endure less than the best at a cost. The baby's experiences during at birth without trauma have got to be those, and only those, which correspond to his and his mother's ancient expectations, writes Jean Lydotloff. in her study on the Aboriginal Forest Society. Whereas other mammals seek dark, quiet, solitary places for birth, she points out, we invite birth trauma with the use of steel instruments, bright lights, rubber gloves, and the smell of antiseptic and anesthetic, antiseptic and anesthetic, loud voices, or the sound of machinery. Mothers feel it, even if no one sees anything out of the ordinary. I still remember my wife whispering to me during our first birth, regarding the nurse who kept haranguing her to push, girl, push, to please tell the woman to shut up. A person's body seizes up in the absence of safety and emotional connection, especially under the effect of sensitizing hormones. Oblivious to the woman's need for silent safety and attunement, hospitals create a self perpetuating cycle, instigating many of the labor complications they then must intervene to resolve. Alana Stranger Ross summed up traditional wisdom and modern science in words that in a saner system wouldn't even need to be said. We need to approach someone in labor as a full person who is experiencing a sacred life passage, she told me. They're not a sick patient, they are a person in labor, which is a very normal thing to be. Amen, amen. Good morning. I was told by one of them, okay. My normal isn't your normal, basically. Very updating story. Chick always be reading the saddest things. Chicks always be reading the saddest things. Look, this wasn't supposed to be sad. This is supposed to be educational. What's up, King? What's up? Well, thank goodness we finished that chapter. We still have 3 more pages, but I'm hoping that this one isn't on childbirth because I don't want to read about childbirth anymore. Good morning, good morning. All right. Horticulture on the moon. Oh no, now moon. Parenting undermined. We've all lost our children. Just look at them. For God's sake, violent in the streets, comatose in the malls, narcoticized in front of the TV. In my lifetime, something terrible happened that took our children away from us. Russell Banks, The Sweet Hereafter. Modern society is awash in parenting expertise. Peruse any bookstore, and you will behold shelves upon shelves of volumes devoted to helping moms and dads navigate this rocky terrain, from conception through college drop-off. Parenting blogs, social media groups, and online lectures abound. A playlist on the TED Talks website offers stories from the front lines of parenting. Even if tongue-in-cheek, the war zone language resonates for many. The struggle to be good parents can seem like a protracted battle against time, against ourselves, even against our kids. I think it's just reading about my kids and reading about kids that's traumatizing. Oh no, I know what it is. It's my hormones. We want to do right by our children. We just don't know how. If only we had some internal compass to guide us. The good news is we do. All of us, by virtue of being human, are endowed with a natural drive and talent for child rearing. The bad news is that failing prejudices serves to alienate us from that innate knowledge. So inherent to our species that it cannot be taught, only activated or disabled. Ooh, that's a good one. In this chapter, we'll look at 2 ways modern Western culture's idea of normal undermines parenting: the erosion of our instinct for the enterprise and the creation of isolating or stressful conditions inimical to raising healthy children. If it takes a world to raise a child, it takes a toxic culture to make us forget how to. Suppressing Instinct by The Book. Recently, a parenting manual by an economist with no background in developmental psychology beyond being a mother herself became a bestseller. Having crunched the numbers, Emily Oster presents Crib Sheet, a data driven guide to better, more relaxed parenting from birth to preschool. It devalues, among other things, such ancient practices as breastfeeding and co sleeping with one's newborn. As a sympathetic New Yorker profile expressed it, a major reframe of this book is that a parent's preferences are important. What do you want? The plot is telling. One of my biggest regrets with my last child is not co-sleeping with her sooner. And that is something that I would say is one of the leading things that helped her actually sleep through the night and her body to start healing itself. Oh, thank you. Well, good thing I'm not giving advice. Do you have TP for my bunghole? It's okay. I bet you walk into a lot of rooms and say obvious things, and that's okay. We're not going to judge you. All right. I might giggle at you a little bit though. Here's the problem. Any cultural context is bound to shape the preferences of its members in its own image. What we adults prefer in unnatural circumstances may well clash with what our nature would have us opt for. It so happens that parents today take their cues from a culture that has lost touch with both the child's developmental needs and what parents require to be able to meet those needs. Oster's intentions are no doubt good. Around the time her book was published, the New York Times ran an op-ed by her with the online title, The Data All Guilt-Ridden Parents Need. Freeing fellow parents from shame is a laudable objective. But quite aside from the fact that even the most carefully selected data are a poor antidote for guilt, what if the issue is more complicated? What if the angst parents feel speaks not to the lack of information of figures, but to a long brewing, culturally induced alienation from their own deepest instincts? Quite like the genes in which they are coded, instincts do not assert themselves in an automatic or autonomous way. Rather, they are invoked by the proper environment, or else we are liable to lose touch with them. This is as true for human beings as it is for other animals forced to live in unnatural circumstances. We might consider that the proliferation of parenting experts in our time is a sign of the disconnect and not its solution. Of course, early 21st century culture isn't exactly unique in this respect, just as with theories of human nature, child rearing attitudes, approaches, and doctrines throughout Western civilization have reflected and reinforced their particular time and place. It is a mostly dismal trajectory that includes infanticide, terror, and abuse, all of course normalized in their day. Good morning, good morning. Matey. Who be asking? Around the 14th century, as the psychohistorian Lloyd Demes writes, there was no image more popular than that of the physical molding of children, who were seen as soft wax, plaster, or clay to be beaten into shape. The intent was to break the child's independent spirit from birth onward. It was also around this time, he points out, that parenting manuals begin to multiply in earnest. In the mid 19th century arrived what Demas terms the socializing mode, the goal of which is the fostering of a socially functioning personality, one that plays well with others, that is, conforms to society's expectations. This approach became the source of all 20th century psychological models. Among them is one popularized by the iconic Dr. Benjamin Spock, pundit for millions, in baby and child care. Generations, the good doctor proposed a cure for what he called chronic resistance to sleep in infancy. The way to ensure that the infant doesn't get away with such tyranny, he wrote, was to say goodnight affectionately but firmly, walk out of the room, and don't go back. That's right. The tyranny of a baby who's psychologically and emotionally programmed to crave physical closeness with the parent, as do all million young. My babies screamed bloody murder. I would have to rock them and sing them to sleep. My last two babies. I was so stressed out in that pregnancy. Both of those last two, I was so stressed out in those last two. I thought the first two was hard, but the last two, I still see the effects of the stress that I was under in my pregnancy and both of my babies, in how explosive they are. Like this. Like they're 0 to 100 real quick. Good morning. Good morning. My iPad just in the cleaners. It is. Yeah, stress is definitely one of the worst things that a woman can do during pregnancy. Goodness me. I'm, I'm sick. Today, the socialization mode still dominates much of the advice parents continue to receive from experts and peers. Recently, Jordan Peterson weighed in on how to raise sophisticated. I don't think he likes Jordan Peterson, by the way he talks about him. Sophisticated denizens of the world outside the family. In his mega-selling 12 Rules for Life, an antidote to chaos, Peterson cautions parents, you love your kids after all. If their actions make you dislike them, think what an effect they will have on other people who care much less about them than you. Those other people will punish them. Don't allow that to happen. Better to let your little monsters know what is desirable and what is not. To achieve this goal, Peterson recommends gestural and physical intimidation. Socialization may be a kinder approach than treating kids as inanimate putty, yet it still centers something other than their needs, namely the, the dictates of the society for which the parents act as the well-meaning but unwitted agents. To see what else might be possible, it is instructive to look at cultures more time-tested and nature-informed than our own. Such cultures needed no parenting experts because their wisdom was passed down generationally, whether by instruction or simple emulation. Contrast Dr. Spock's counsel with what an elderly Cree woman once told me. In our clan, children weren't even allowed to touch the ground until they were 2 years old. They were in our arms all the time. Or compare Peterson's tip for managing little monsters with the anthropologist Ashley Montague's description of traditional parenting practices among Netsilik Inuit in Canada's Northwest Territories. The Netsilik mother, even though she lives under the most difficult of conditions, is an unruffled personality who bestows warmth and loving care upon her children. She never chides her infant or interferes with it in any way except to respond to its need. Somehow, it seems, these children manage to grow into productive and, yes, socialized members of their community, even without Dr. Peterson's stern admonishments. It turns out that our innate parenting instinct is perfectly calibrated to ensure the provision of the thing many experts would have us ignore: the child's developmental needs. And here's a plot twist: we are not talking only about children's needs. In a real sense, we cannot even speak about the infant's needs without considering those of the mother. There is no such thing as a baby, the British pediatrician D.W. Winnicott once said, explaining, "If you show me a baby, you certainly show me someone else who is caring for the baby." One sees a nursing couple. The unit is not the individual, the unit is their individual environment setup. Or, in Ashley Montague's words, when a baby is born, a mother is born. There is considerable evidence at this time, and for months thereafter, her needs for contact exceed those of the infant. Good thing too. We are not built in physiology and emotional incentives for the one doing the caregiving. Parenthood would be even more of a slog than it already is. Fewer babies would have their survival needs met if fulfilling those needs were not rewarding for parents. With its usual brilliance, our interpersonal biological makeup dictates that our requirements be mutual. One of the unfortunate impacts of our culture's way of doing things is the stress tends to whittle down those innate rewards, making parenting more frustrating and daunting than it rightly ought to be. Woo! A pseudo-intellectual sums up Peterson perfectly. Made more money grifting than using his qualifications. Yeah, I don't know much about him, but I know that when he references him in this book, it just kind of makes me giggle. He's like, "Let me pull out Jordan Peterson." I've only heard a little bit about Jordan Peterson. I haven't actually ever read anything by him or anything like that. I only know its name because of YouTube. So I know that he had a sick child and that this child passed away. And I don't know. The book made me think about what his child's needs was and stuff like that, which is messed up. So I'm just not going to go there. Well, that's our 10 pages. So let me see how many more pages. I don't feel horrible reading that. Ooh, snap. Okay, so for the last 10 pages, we were reading. Let's summarize it now. Boasted by Joe Rogan years ago. Oh. Joe Rogan seems like the booster of voices for sure. So our last 10 pages of The Myth of Normal, 35 minutes. We're getting faster at reading because 10 minutes each day, that's a habit. That mothers need more support and need to feel like they are part of the decision making, and that our biology already knows what to do. We already know what to do in our beings to bring up our children right. We have instincts, but we are being culturally conditioned to ignore our babies' needs. And that there are mass amounts of best-selling books going around, and that is not a sign that society is getting better, but a sign that society is getting worse. Okay, so I'm gonna finish my tea, and then I'm gonna hop off of here and get ready to do my yoga. So, hello, how's everybody doing this morning? I feel like that was a good 10 pages that we got through, and it was not as hard of a struggle. Sleep definitely was needed, and I feel so excited. I went to bed last night and I planned my whole day. The first time I ever planned my whole day of eating, I think, the day before. So now I just have to set it up and stick to it. I did not succeed very well yesterday, but I did succeed. Maternity leave is a struggle for many, I assume there. Maternity leave for out here, I am not too sure, Dodge, because I never have a problem leaving. I'm taking my leave, so but if it is, that sucks, and moms should definitely be supported in being able to leave. I did leave early with my first kid. I did have to leave early. I don't remember it being a problem. But yeah, anytime I have a baby, I have just told them I'm leaving. So do whatever you have to do behind closed doors with whoever you have to do it. I will no longer be working while being this pregnant or after pregnancy. You had a great at the Comic-Con, but something happened. Tell us, Trey, tell us. Much love from Madrid. Hi. Hello. Beautiful energy. Thank you, thank you. Here you get 12 months paid time off. What? That's insane. That's awesome. Does the dad also get leave? I know that for my pregnancies, their dad did get leave from his jobs. He got paternity leave. So I think it was only 12 weeks, though. It definitely wasn't, no, 12 months. I don't remember being given 12 months. They were kind of times of a blur, though. Every time I've had a baby, it was pretty a hard time. I don't think I've ever gone through a pregnancy and raising a baby in a not stressful time. Good morning, good morning. How are you? I know that you had surgery. I don't know how long it's been because time's a blur for me, but I hope it was well and you are recovered, my friend. I could be completely wrong. Some people said that I had the worst costume ever. So your costume made people feel things, Trey. That's all I heard. So that is the goal of artwork, is to make people feel something. And if people said the worst, that means they felt really strongly about your costume. So pound it. I think your costume was probably awesome and they were probably just jealous. So I'm proud of you for going and dressing up, and don't let anything anybody say make you feel negatively at all. They were probably jealous or something. Totally, Trey. Totally. Being the best or the worst, to me, are the same thing. People come tell me I'm the worst all the time, and I'm like, whoa, you're never gonna forget me. That's all I heard. They're never gonna forget you, Trey. You're gonna haunt their dreams. That's a success to me. Remind us what your costume was. It was November. Thank you. You're good, and I appreciate you. That was sweet. I'm good, thank you. Yay! I'm glad. That makes me happy. I had the surgery on your birthday. Woo! What a birthday present. Down to earth. I am down to earth. I am in the earth, but not of it. In the earth, but not of it yet. I was as Ghostface from Scream. Oh, that's awesome. I love Scream. I loved the Scream movies. I love Matthew Lillard. I think that's his name. Right? An adult birthday present for real. That's an adult birthday present for real. I gotta drink this fancy adult cup of water. I put it in this bluey cup to make me feel better about it. No, I'm just joking. It's liquid IV, a drop of vitamin D, and creatine. I am so grown. Shout out Shaggy. Yep. Oh my gosh, right? He's back in 7. What? I haven't seen it. I haven't been to the movies in forever. Forever. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have been like to the children's movie theater, but I haven't been to like an actual movie theater. I'm a little bit nervous to go to an actual movie theater again. Birthday boy. Aw, as they should. That makes me so happy. It was fun for them too. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, here. Wuthering Heights movie was good. Nice. Am I in a teepee? No. Apparently Australia doesn't own the rights to the Bluey merch. No? What? This is from the dollar store, so do we really own the rights to anything? You know what I mean? Like, I could have made this cup for all anybody knows. Shein is selling so much merch that I'm like, how are you selling this on Shein? Like Nike and I don't know, Asilago. I don't actually know what that brand is, but in your kiln, I know. I don't have a kiln, but one of my friends has a kiln, and I'm pretty sure she would let me use it. You know you've made it when you have friends with a kiln. She doesn't look like Am I? Some people were even interviewing me and said I was a zombie and that I was like, what did you just call me? That's funny, Trey. Yeah, you know, some people just are uncultured. You can't be too mad at them. That's like being somebody not knowing the alphabet and being mad that they don't know the alphabet. Like obviously they can't read either. Let's not give them the job of reading the next line. A zombie. Doesn't even make sense. But yeah, people are people, you know, people be peopling. I'll probably go to the Comic-Con next year as a pirate. Yeah, nice. I gotta still look up if the Comic-Con's out here or not. Because I know it was in March. But I still gotta do something. The ears on your coffee cup would definitely poke me or chip my tooth not paying attention. Yeah, my kids were like, oh my gosh, the ears are gonna stab me. I'm like, no, they're not. Your car is running well and you're getting around good. I am not driving just yet. I just make videos in it sometimes, but I'm not driving around or getting around just yet. I still gotta do some final things like insurance, and I did call one place for a quote, but they needed more information. You know, why I don't understand why things have to have 15 steps for every single thing. And I have so many different things that I have to do that all of them take 15,000 steps. You know what I mean? Like, I have to make breakfast. It's going to take 15 steps, you know? That's why making my breakfast and deciding what I was going to eat today beforehand was amazing. So maybe today I actually get all the steps done to be getting around, because I've been telling people for weeks that I'm going to come see them and get around. But I do have three things I got to do first. And each of those three things isn't just three things. So each of those three things, this one, I need a bunch of information to give them. And then this one, I need a bunch of information to get them to go somewhere physically. And then this one, I need a bunch of things too. And I have to pay each of them a bunch of money. Like, they have to do addition and subtraction, and like, there's tons of numbers involved. I just hate processes. But I believe that God is going to bless me with the winning lottery numbers tomorrow. So when I get that $1 million, I will be looking for someone that likes processes, and I will be paying them quite well, and they will be my assistant, and they will do all that for me, and then I won't have to do that part of everything. So I need a processor. And then I will also have them help me with the journal that is literally already created and just needs a couple more steps to be actually put out there. It's so hard doing stuff. Is that just me? Soon, very soon. I really want to get all those things handled before next week, because I wanted to schedule a massage, and I have to do these things to schedule the massage because I have to drive really far to do that. So that's an external motivator for me to do that, which I need external motivation to do things. I may do the Captain Hook costume you saw before, since it was a big success at Havelock Comic Con. Nice, nice. Trey, tell me what you considered made that costume a success versus your Scream one that you did. Was your Scream one a big success? Or what was the different factors that made you consider Captain Hook a success but not the Scream one? I'm just curious about that. You need a butler and a concierge. I could definitely use my own guy, like in Batman, or like my own Penny from Iron Man. Somebody that I can talk to. I would love my own, like how Penny and Iron Man have that like relationship, and like she's his brain kind of a little bit, but he's like focused on so many things that's really important, so she handles those things. Like, I could definitely use one of those people. We would be besties, even though I'm pretty sure they would see me as like, it's a job, but don't let me get a butler. I have to pay them to not let me, because I'm gonna think that they're in love with me. But they actually can't be in love with me. That's the thing. They have to like be very professional, no matter how unprofessional I am. I think that's in all of the those dynamics. I'm actually heading to South Carolina now to find some merch of a crocodile who passed. What? Of a crocodile? Merch of a crocodile who passed. Oh, nice. The bunghole. Do you have TP for my bunghole? If we were friends in real life, I'm that kind of person. Are you that kind of person? I believe that. One of the celebrities at Comic-Con, Havelock, even said that it was the most detailed costume they've ever seen for Hook. Oh, nice. Okay, so the details, just getting like recognition for the detail that went into the costume. Did you make the costume? I did my taxes February 10th. Nice, nice. I sent my taxes. I finally became a big girl and started sending my taxes to a tax guy a couple years ago. Man, game changer. All I have to do is take the pictures and send it to him. And I still have a little anxiety. I gotta take these pictures. Not only do I have to take these pictures, I have to find the stuff, take the pictures, and send it to him. That's 3 steps. That's 3 steps. But if it's that many and I know where all this stuff is, I'm like, you got this. Like, I know I have my title. I just need the title, the phone number, and to call. And that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. And a credit card. Those aren't too bad. So I believe today, you guys, I'm going to tackle that one of those 3 things that I need. So thank you for helping me get to that track. Cheyenne's Scream was a success too, but the way when I'm Hook, I don't wear a mask so people can understand what I'm saying. Ah, nice, nice. Awesome. Yes, I did. Aw, that's awesome. Let's go. Yeah, we're getting stuff done today. What's in the cuppy? This cuppy is tea. It's getting a little cold because I'm yapping, so I'm going to finish it. We have to get, I guess we ended a little early, so I was like, oh, we have a little bit of time. I rotate my tires and oil changes every 5K without fail and have service record. That's crazy on point. Neat whiskey baskets. Yeah, neat whiskey baskets. Good to see you. Excuse me. All right, that's our tea done. This one gets all the powder on the bottom. I'm gonna make myself popsicles today. Yesterday was rough. Yesterday started really good with our reading and our stretching, but I feel like it took a nosedive after I had my protein level for breakfast was just like meh, and that just kind of took its toll. And then I made coffee off. I had black coffee and it was just like back-to-back cups of coffee. It was horrible. And then I was like rushing through the day to get my water in, to get my protein in. So by the end of the day, I was like, this sucks. But today I have everything planned to the macro. Everything's already done. I prepped burgers, sausage patties. The sausage patties are gonna be so good. I made protein waffle and pancakes last night. Super awesome. But a lot lower in protein than I thought. So those will be more comfort things. I made smoothie popsicles for my kiddos. I served everybody well yesterday, but I did not serve myself well yesterday. And today I'm going to serve myself so good. And tomorrow, after I complete day 14 of the challenge, I'm going to get my toes done the next day because tomorrow I work. I took a day. I said I'll work the Wednesday. Yes, Cheyenne, this croc I'm looking for merch of arrived at this place that I'm on my way to and just passed last year. That's awesome. That eating challenge, I haven't emailed them yet, but I did find a girl that actually did that whole challenge by herself. She just, they changed the time frame. So I might do that crazy insane challenge even if they don't accommodate it being a smaller challenge for one person. You're consistent about working out though. The last time I went to the gym was December. Aw, well that's alright. As far as working out, I would not say that I have actually like worked out. I know you guys have seen me work out, but I just don't count they count for the challenge, but my workouts right now have been me stretching in the mornings and walking with my dog and kids. So that has been my 2 workouts each day for the last, we're on day 12, I believe. Yeah, because we're on day 13 today. But that's also because I'm being very conscientious of those things. I definitely will be picking up working out after Shark Week is over. So I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna have some massive thighs. Can't wait till my thighs are all massive. I'm taking my before and afters and I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's no muscle there at all. legs have so much muscle to not have any. I'm just like, I have this big old butt and these little old thighs. I'm like, oh my goodness, can we please get to 20 inches at least? I have a lifetime 24-hour fitness membership. What? It's $49 per year for the rest of my life. That's so awesome. I'm not gonna lie, even though I love my home gym, I'm a little bit jealous. We are locked in. That is right. I was thinking about posting a pic of that croc the last time I saw him. Do it. That sounds like an awesome thing. Do it, Trey. Post it. I take it for granted because it's cheap. $49 for... out of all the gyms, 24-hour fitness is my favorite because I just love being able to like come there all the time. What time do they do not. They do not. Bad. That's right. Bad. You are being grouply shunned. Actually, there's something pretty interesting about the pic that I'll post of the croc. What is it? Tell us. Tell us, Trey. I am an it. Since we get to choose now. I am a wild thing. Ooh! That last little, this is a very tangy last little sip. I need some more water in this. The people on the internet, I wish we're getting more interesting, but they're not. They're getting more robotic. Like if you notice when you go in, and the trolls are all trolling like the same. The random gronks with their questions. Yeah, I mean, they're like so like you could probably pull out a book and they're all like of the same, you know? Like there's only like we could probably have a list of all the same. Like we should make a list and put them on the wall and like put them at levels, and then when they come in and they say one of the ones that we have on the list, we like show the list and we're like an alarm goes off or something just to kind of like break them out of that. You know you're falling into the matrix when you say one of these specific things. I sat at the bench at this enclosure and he surfaced and got right beside me, and when I got up he went in the middle of his enclosure. That's scary. I'd be scared if a crocodile came up to me. I'd be like, please be domesticated, man. I'm just joking. I would probably pray though. I'd pray and be like, what do I do right now? Crocodile Dundee, what would Crocodile Dundee do right now? Fear, I gotta be fearless. I think he can't see me if I'm in between his eyes. I don't know. I know, all I see is pattern in chat now. I moderate 20 channels. What? Comments are pedantic. Yeah, pattern. That totally makes sense. You could probably just put in a couple words into the like blocked one and get rid of like all of them. When I post it, it's a up close picture of him. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I love this shirt. I love Beavis. Me and Beavis are synonymous, if that means the same. But I actually would have to Google that word. But I think I used it right. I love Beavis. Beavis is my inner animal spirit. But somehow Butthead is in there too. Butthead comes out when I need to stand up to people. For a huge croc, he was very docile. Aw, that makes me sad. Crocs are our friends. Yes. Cornholio. People are different, but heck of the same. Yeah, for sure. Nostalgic early MTV days. Oh, I know. I should do an MTV day style video. I loved the MTV videos. They just were so great. Like being able to watch a cartoon and then like a music video at the same time with the cartoon and the commentary and like the back and forth. I just loved it. Yeah, that's somebody said I looked like Kip yesterday during our live. They said I looked like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. So that's where my last short came from. I was like, so I know this page is just kind of got random, and I will still be reining it in for my other channels. I know I haven't got back to them recently, but I will. It's just so many places to get back to. So gotta run. All right, bye. Me too. Actually, we finished our last bit of this. I'm gonna throw some more water in it to get the rest out. He even had a title because he was so big. Oh, nice. I'll find you the interview with the OG founder of MTV and send it to you. Oh, thank you, Dodge. That would be awesome. I would love that. Thank you. He didn't growl at me or anything. He was so calm around me. Aw. Crocodiles are supposed to be rough and tough, but I'm glad you were safe. But also, docile crocodiles make me sad. So, I love you guys. I will see you soon. Let me change, get my stuff ready, and we will be back to stretch. I will not be chatting through the stretch, so we are aware. So, bye.